Do your joints feel stiff in the morning, ache after activity, or even crack and grind when you move? Chances are you might have osteoarthritis or inflammation of the joints. While many might think this is just a wear and tear issue when the cartilage between bones runs out, pharmacist Benjamin Lim says there's actually a lot more to it.
Some bone can deform. There can be micro fractures, that means tiny little fractures that happen on the surface of the bone as well, where the cartilage is supposed to be. And it can also affect the ligaments, and it can also affect the lining of our joint as well, which is called the synovium.
Aging is a definite cause, but there are other risk factors that can increase the likelihood of developing osteoarthritis, such as a family history of the disease, previous joint-related injuries, physically demanding jobs, and obesity. Lim says taking note of early symptoms is important as osteoarthritis is a progressive disease. Early signs such as stiffness in your joints, especially after inactivity, or mild joint pain should be looked into if you want more years of independence and mobility. Ultimately, osteoarthritis leads to difficulties in performing everyday tasks.
Climbing up and down the stairs, particularly climbing down the stairs, that tends to be a bit more of a struggle. The other thing as well is when it comes to gripping things, for example, cooking. If you're trying to grip your spatula, things like that, or when you have to open up bottles or jars, have a problem having a good grip, these are some of the very day-to-day problematic issues that can come by.
Sadly, it's common to see people with osteoarthritis becoming inactive due to the pain.
But actually, it's extremely important to be able to keep moving, because by moving, by having activity, it helps to strengthen the joints and helps to keep flexibility, reduce stiffness. You have to do 30 minutes moderate activity 5 times a week. Other activities you could consider looking at would be like swimming or cycling, where it's milder on the joints. So things like, for example, basketball, where there's jumping, football, where there's lots of kicking and using of joints, that may be a bit too much. If you do find that while you are doing the activity you get pain, acute pain, then it's a sign to stop already.
So what can we do to slow down osteoarthritis or manage the symptoms? A healthy diet with fruits and vegetables and taking fish oil is important. Lim also warns against eating processed and junk food, as these can lead to inflammation and worsen your condition. He also notes that supplements like OsteoPro, which contains fully reacted glucosamine sulfate, can help with joint pain, stiffness, and cracking joints. He explains that glucosamine is the basic building block of cartilage and helps joint comfort.
But it's important when you go for glucosamine, look for the one with the correct salt. So you might see some that says glucosamine hydrochloride, glucosamine sulfate, and so forth. The one I would say with the most evidence is glucosamine sulfate. So go for those. Glucosamine sulfate as a molecule is not very stable. It does need some special technology to make sure it stays as glucosamine sulfate. So that's where, like our product Thomson OsteoPro, we do ensure and do lab testing to make sure it is indeed glucosamine sulfate. For joints to recover and to heal, the blood circulation, the blood flow around the joint is also very important. So another supplement that you can consider also is a ginkgo biloba product, which we have as well. And that will help to improve the blood flow, not just to the joints, but throughout the whole body.
Lim agrees it can be very frustrating for people who have always been active to suddenly become limited. This can lead to anxiety and sometimes even depression.
It is important for these people that are suffering from osteoarthritis to find out for themselves, or for the people around them to give them support and see how best to manage what sort of diet to take, what sort of exercises will be beneficial, what is too much exercise, what's too little, what supplements can be taken to support that. So this whole thing and the support of the people around them will help to make it more manageable.
Osteoarthritis may not have a cure, but with early detection, the right lifestyle changes, and strong support from loved ones, it doesn't have to take away your independence or the joy of doing the things you love. Natasha, Busst, and Dinesh Kumar Maganathan, FMT.